Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our new episode of Biomedcast Season 2. I am Stevelyn,
And I'm Willem.
and today we have a very special guest with us. She is the Chief Executive Officer of Beacon Precision Diagnostics, an award-winning pathology and clinical laboratory with a patient-centric approach, Dr. Rebecca Tay Sok Hui. Under her leadership, Beacon Precision Diagnostics received recognition from the Malaysian Book of Records for the first clinical recommended genome-wide pharmacogenomics. She has also initiated and is the co-chairperson organizing committee for the first Malaysian Pharmacogenomics Summit 2024, Accelerate Precision Medicine via Pharmacogenomics, as well as the co-founder of PMEDS, which is Precision Medicine and Scientific Wellness Association, to foster communication and consensus through proper management and documentation. She is also the board of advisory for universities such as IMU University and University Putra Malaysia. These are not all of Dr. Rebecca Tay and her achievements, but only the tip of the iceberg. Without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Rebecca Tay to our podcast today. Would you like to say hello to our listeners?
Hello. Nice to see all of you. Yeah. Okay. I'm Dr. Rebecca. Yeah. Hope that this podcast is going to bring more interest to our viewer and that you appreciate yourself more, especially as a biomedical student. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Rebecca. So now let's dive into our conversation. Since today's episode is molecules and precision, so I would like to ask, what is molecular and precision medicine and how does it tie into diagnostic and treatment?
All right. Overall, molecular and precision medicine represent a paradigm shift towards personalized healthcare, and then where the treatment is more tailored to the unique characteristics of the patient, leading to more effective interventions and improved patient outcome. So, and then actually molecular medicine involve the understanding of molecular mechanism underlying the disease, such as cancer, cardiovascular disease, genetic disorder. So researcher and clinicians study the interaction between the molecule, between the cells, such as your DNA, RNA, proteins, and metabolite, to understand the disease process at the molecular level. So, and then, so it's aimed to develop diagnostic tool and treatment based on the molecular insight. Whereas precision medicines focus more on personalized medicines. So where it takes into account of individual differences instead of just a cell. So such as the differences in genetic, in environment, in their biomarker, the blood test, as well as the lifestyle to guide medical decisions and treatment. So by analyzing the individual genetic makeup, biomarkers, and other relevant data, clinician can identify the most effective intervention and then of the person. So it enables targeted therapy. They are more tailored to the specific characteristic of each patient, potentially leading to a better outcome, clinical outcome, and to reduce side effect compared to the traditional approach. Yeah.
So how does biology plays a key role in this precision medicine?
Okay, so many people thought I'm very kiasu lah. Why I take two PhD, right? So why I want to take two PhD is an accident because I really want to discover, to what has really impacted me. So, and when I was a teenager, my biological mother, a beautiful slim lady, very active, suddenly have blood in her stool, and then I was unfortunately diagnosed as having a stage 4 colon cancer. So, and so since you are next to me, that's how she looks. That's how beautiful she is. So very slim, and no one would ever think that there might be some cancer, evolving in her body. But anyhow, she was given a treatment, chemotherapy. Unfortunately, she vomited blood, and then within a few months, I lost her very soon. So this debates about whether she died of cancer or died of treatment has been debating, in me. So it is basically the crave to search for answer. So, and then because all of us are very young, my two sisters and I, so my younger sister was like 8 years old. So my biological mother, before she left us, has commanded my father to remarry a good mother for us. So basically my whole life is, my decisions in healthcare is inspired by the two angelic mother. So there come my father has successfully honored my mother's desire, where he have married a very good mom for us, stepmom. And yeah, the first thing she did was telling my told my father and us that the three daughters are enough, and she was on contraceptive pill throughout her whole marriage life to make sure there's only three of us. So, and well, when I was in University of Nottingham, I was actually assigned to teach pharmacogenomics. That's when I started to have some ideas. So whereby, I got to know that, like for instance, the chemotherapy, where eventually, like capecitabine, the products will be converted into fluorouracil, which is the active form of, the chemo, and you actually need only like 5% to kill the cancer cell. So the rest of the 90% rely on your body to degrade or to excrete. 10% through urine, 80% through the enzyme, what we call by DPD. So to some Malaysians, I would just joke about, just remember donkey by the Potixon, okay? So, but it's not the actual DPD stand for. But anyway, you need this activity to degrade this fluorouracil. More than 80% rely on it. So basically, if you got to know whether they have genetic intact, like the DBYD. So if the DBYD have some mutations, so you can actually predict that the degradations have some problem, right? Therefore, FDA do have the drugs label, saying that, there could be life-threatening fatal adverse drug reactions if there isn't any TPD. So that give me like, could it be because my mom does have this TPD, kind of mutations, and she doesn't respond well? But chemotherapy is not all bad. I do have my good friend undergoing chemotherapy come to me, show off to me, and said, "I'm going to shopping, huh? What's so difficult after the chemotherapy?" And she responded very well. So the same drugs that could have harmed somebody may bring life to another person. But how do we distinguish whether it's bringing harm or good? So it is actually relying on the information you have in your body, whether you can actually get rid of the toxicity, and then whether you can have the benefit, from the medications. So, well, that's my not so brief introductions. How I ended into having a PhD in molecular medicine as well as a PhD in pharmacies. But it does help me to understand more, because eventually my very good stepmother, about 4 or 5 years ago, was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And then I think some of you have heard about my story already. And so we found out that she do have some mutations in the gene. So her lung cancer is basically, she's not a smoker, okay? But basically it is because of the mutations of her body, like EGFR, she's, then we find out that the best treatment for her is targeted treatments. So beside the cancer cell kind of NGS that we did, we also did pharmacogenomics, because the regular, right now, the hospital's genetic test focuses on the cancer cell. So I do complement it with the germline pharmacogenomics so that we will know about her other cancer treatment drugs, as well as, painkiller or cough mixtures. So, and usually, according to the Beacon Hospital clinical trial head, the targeted drugs can prolong some life. Instead of few months, it can be like up to like 2 years. That's the longest I've seen so far, until they see my mom. Okay, she's just celebrated last year, celebrated 70 years birthday. I think you have seen her photos. And then a more recent photo is she's looking like this. Yeah. So yeah, everyone is mesmerizing like you. So yeah, she do look good, and her quality of life is something that caused a lot of the healthcare provider asking us, how come she have such good quality of life at like the 5th year, and what are the secrets? So the secret is for us, perhaps we try to prevent harm before it happens by knowing more of the information she have. So that's what we call like, sometimes we generalize it as personalized medicines, by knowing more information and given more targeted treatment. I think that's like I said, very long, brief introductions. So but I think this overview will give us a framework, you know, as to what precision medicine, could look like and what are the benefit it can brought. So definitely, I'm very blessed that my stepmom is still with me. It's quite difficult for me to accept that my second mom will leave me. So, but we look forward for another decades together or more, because I think the advancements of precision medicines have bring more hope and more efficacy and reducing toxicity. Yeah.
This is like very interesting. That I didn't know with precision medicine and molecular medicine can actually help to like slow down the aggressiveness of the cancer just by with this like targeted treatments. You can actually slow some of it down.
Uh,
Because I always thought like, oh, people with cancer they just go for chemotherapy and then they hope their best to like recover from it. But I think not all of them can. Like only a bit of them can only recover. But with this kind of targeted treatment, I think the rate would be higher to like slow it down and
yeah.
have a better life.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting.
Okay, good. So you have asked me about what are the specialties of biology play in the key role of precision medicine, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So basically, biology they provide the foundational knowledge as well as the technique necessary to understand the molecular basis of the disease and individual variability. Some of the specialties includes number one, obviously genetics. Yeah. So genetic is a fundamental of precision medicine. So as you study the inheritance, the germline, right, and some variations from the gene in individual and populations, especially our whole genome is already successfully mapped. So we know more information now. We have a reference point. So advances in genetics such as genome sequencing, where you sequence your whole genome, and then the genetic mapping have enabled the identifications of genetic variants. So we know the standard reference. So and then we benchmark against it. So then we get to know who have the variations, the differences, okay? And then especially the one that associate with the diseases, also the responses. So then it paved the way for personalized treatment and based on individual genetic makeup. So what about genomic? So like genomic is a study of the entire genome as what we have mentioned just now. So it includes the structure, the function, the evolutions of gene in their interactions within the genome. So and then the genomic technologies such as NGS, the next generation sequencing, microarray, and etc. Even now nanopore, so enable the comprehensive analysis of an individual genetic information. So it's all about informations and how you manage it. The rest is the technique to, access to it. And then it facilitated the discovery of disease-causing mutations and development of targeted treatments. Then how do you know that there are people who are not smoking and getting lung cancer, and tracing back to those like ALK and other like EGFR? It's because they see the trend, they do the statistical studies and to do the associations. So molecular biology also, they investigate the molecular mechanism, so the underlying cellular process, including not just the gene expressions, but also the protein function, and also the signaling pathway and etc. So understanding these molecular processes is essential to elucidate the disease mechanism and identifying the molecular targets for precision therapy. And then bioinformation as well. So how many of you love statistics? Yeah, statistics is one of my passions. I really love statistics. Yeah. So because with statistics, you'll be able to identify what causes what, like the regressions, yeah. So not only to predict the economical forecast or what, but then you can also do the same in your biological, discovery. So basically, bioinformative expert, they may combine like biology, computer science, statistics, to analyze and interpret the biological data, especially when we have like this whole genome is a large scale kind of genomic data, right? And also proteomic database. You want to be able to have the sophistications of the statistics or computer computer science and biology to connect. So, and then you'll be able to then identify the genetic variant to the disease, predicting drugs response, optimizing treatment. And pharmacogenomic, for example, my favorite. So I was actually asked to teach pharmacogenomic during the problem-based learning to the students. So yeah, because then you learn how genetic variation influence the response to the drugs. Like every one of you take like ibuprofen differently. So some will have a good relieving pain or discomfort, but some may bengkak everywhere. So how do you know which one suited you? So like for example, like ibuprofen for instance, they need certain cytochrome of P450. So and certain variation like the C2, C9 would actually affect, the degradations of the toxicity of the ibuprofens. And that's how, if you cannot degrade it, then usually you have bengkak everywhere lah. So you can just delete this. I think this is too long. But anyhow, yeah. So by integrating the genomic informations, you'll be able to into the drugs development and clinical trials. So it aims to optimize the drug selection and dosing lor. So, and of course, etc. System biology and even pharmacies, yeah, and medicines, yeah.
That's a lot of actually examples. So I think we can move on to our next question actually.
Okay, so the first question here will be, what are the pathways one can take to enter the field of precision medicine?
Yeah, it can evolve in various pathways, but in a nutshell, these are some of the common pathways you can go about. Number one, of course, very obviously, biomedicine. Yeah. Okay, so, well, I think everyone cannot dispute this fact, right? So, last time I still remember my dean used to say it's the frontier of all scientists. I think other scientists will kind of kill me. But anyway, biomedicine actually is a pursuing of biomedical science. So very targetedly to biology, biochemistry, related to the field of solid foundation to enter precision medicines. So you are actually taught to actually strengthen the diagnostic as well. I think some of you come to Beacon Hospital, come to my lab for attachments, so where you learn about diagnostic, and basically most of the decision made by the healthcare, about 60-70% relying on what you produce in your reporting. Yeah. So, and then through biomedic, you can actually further, the study into genetic, genomic, molecular biology, molecular medicine, like what I did, even pharmacogenomics, and etc. And then medicine as well. So medicines, of course, some medical doctors who actually love research. I do know some of them eventually come and take biomedicine as well, but with the medical background that they have, they can have a holistic idea about the clinical setting. So, and then also bioinformative and computer biology. So, and then pharmacology. So pharmaceutical science and genetic counseling is part of them, especially when it comes to health risks, because you need, when it comes about health risks, when you want to review it to the patients, it's not nice to know what you're going to die for, So you need a counselor that is trained genetically to give a proper consultations, and then also research and development area. So eventually, there are some other sciences that evolve into this, but because of R&D. So, and then regulatory affair or clinical trials, as well as public health and health informations. Yeah, so these are some of the pathways that I see that they can evolve to into precision medicines. Yeah.
But what would you say would be the reality of entering this field? Is it currently realistic for a graduate in Malaysia to expect to be able to enter?
Well, to be frank with you, the reality of pursuing this career is very satisfying when you see cases like my mom, where her life is prolonged, beyond some of the statistics of various hospitals, but it can be very challenging because you are doing a new things. When you are challenging whatever that's already comfortably being implemented, you need multidiscipline. So it is actually an ongoing, evolving field. So therefore, precision medicines evolve very rapidly. So and you do need to work with multi-disciplines. Yeah. So you have to be ready also for like just now I was mentioning about interdisciplinary nature. So and also the complexity of the data. So by the time you have like whole genome, yes, you have like thousands and sometimes close to millions of data. But what are you going to do with it? Yeah. So and which one is meaningful? When you have like a million data of patient A, then a million data of patient B, a million data of patient C. What are the conclusion? you know? So and then also ethical challenges. So especially when you do precision medicines, it may raise like ethical issue, legal issue, and regulatory considerations regarding the privacy, data security, consent, equity. Because like some people will say, okay lah, only the rich can access. Uh, but I'm very thankful that many people have complimented our price. It used to be like five figure for people to generate like hundreds of genetic, and right now, although we have like a thousands of genetic, we are selling it cheaper than PET scan, cheaper than your phone. So it's like if you pay for like per month for per year, it's only like 100 plus. So these are the things that we really want to address. How do you bring down the gap, disparity gap? So and then also integrations into clinical practice. So you may have the most sophisticated breakthrough, but does your doctor like it? Does they want to bring it across to the patients? So that will test your communication skill. So and then of course, continuous learning, because once you have a new finding, like for example, recently we found out that Malaysian or Asians do have adverse drug reaction on certain medications which are first line of recommendation. So how are you going to bring this across to the doctors? And you cannot bypass the policy making, the regulatory. So there again, it's a very fun, exciting, satisfying field, but it also you have to be ready. You have to have the grit, to endure and to be very focused. So the good thing is you just join an organizations that are a team, a good team. It cannot go solo. Even now, our superhero, come in the form of Avengers. It's no longer just Superman or Spider-Man. I think in this field, you need Avengers team. Okay. Yeah.
And could you share any tips for the undergraduate and postgraduate students that would like to enter into this field?
Well, certainly. So these are some of the tips. Okay, number one, determinations. Okay, so you have to be very stubborn, like me. Okay, people will really challenge you because this is like too good to be true. Malaysian. So I'm very honored that now I have patients coming around the world to us, like people from America, people from UK, people from Hong Kong, people from Japan, and the Southeast Asia is coming to us to do the genetic test. And and of course you need to have very strong foundations in biology. Otherwise, a little bit of some variations of what you memorize, that everything will go tumbling down. So you need to have strong foundations in biology as well as the related field. It would be good if, let's say, you're good in statistics as well. If you're not good, then be very good friend with statistics graduate. So that then you will need to evolve another skill, how you leverage, how you lead, how you consolidate. Okay, and then of course pursue research, like you said, postgraduate. Find a very good, passionate professors that know what they're doing. So then you will learn a lot of interesting cases where you will learn the skill to develop yours one day, the novelty, and then stay informed and engage. So I'm actually very proud of the IMU students. As I said, you are like a boss. So the way you lead, the way you, I'm very proud of all of you. I'm very proud to be, coming over here like even twice per month. to be your keynote speaker and to be interviewed by you. And yeah, good job to all of you. Yeah. So I think you are very good candidates to enter this this advancement. Yeah. So and then also you can also explore interdisciplinary opportunities. Like for example, if you are really very passionate in counseling, maybe you can even consider genetic counseling. Uh, so yeah, okay. So Malaysia do have good genetic counseling courses. One of my advisor is actually from UKM. So yeah, but of course, I think you may want it. You can also do it in overseas. Yeah. So and then also some other advanced training or educations. Lor. Mm.
So with all this, like my questions next is to healthcare. So how has precision medicine impact the healthcare system and public view on our personal health?
Okay, so precision medicine has a significant impact already in the healthcare system, as well as public view. I think is evolving as well. Yeah. So and then in terms of healthcare, they are already personalized treatment, especially for cancer. And then with pharmacogenomic, it will evolve more beyond cancer, I believe. And then also targeted treatment. So which is actually tailored to the individual genetic profile, biomarker, and other molecular kind of characteristics. So it have also like improved disease diagnosis and preventions. You know, like with health risks, you can like for me, beside my biological mother died of colon cancer, my father, elder brother, elder sister also died of colon cancer. So sometimes I want to know whether do I have the risk, you know. So, but surprising to me, I don't really have much cancer risk. But when I look into my nutrigenomic profiling, I got to know that, you know, I have a difficulties of absorbing mineral. You know, about 10 years ago, my younger sister went for colonoscopy to assess why she constipated for a few weeks, and her diagnosis was lazy colon. You see, for us, we love veg. My whole family love vegetables, but yet constipation is seems to be like our default system. So it's again like why I eat a lot of veg, I take yogurt, I take probiotic. How come still constipate? So you know, as a scientist, as then you connect the dots. So okay, diagnosis of lazy colon. Oh, because in our digestive system, you know, beside you need that lubricant to smooth through, you also have peristalsis, correct? So, and then our colons, you know, it's like that, like that, like that. No matter how smooth, it can't smooth out, right? So you still need the peristalsis. So what is involved in peristalsis? Some impulses to your nerve, and then which require some time, calcium, magnesium. So, like for my case, my family case is, oh, we are just depleted of this. So, my body is not easily absorbed of that. So I just increase it. So for the past 10 years, thank God, we never have any constipations. So, yeah, so very efficient actually. So, yeah, that's why I think it does help us in a way, maybe have prevent something which is, you know, harmful. And also, it enhance patient engagement and empowerment. For example, like for my mom, current stepmom, you know, we have more information. So we usually discuss with the oncologist, and then we can, like for example, if the oncologist want to prescribe something to my mom that she have adverse drug reactions according to her allele, according to her genetic, they'll say, don't kill my mom with this. Why not this? You know, because there are many options. You know, yeah, because most of the recommendations that we have generated is according to FDA, according to regulatory body, and our pharmacogenomic report actually encompasses the accreditations of HSA, which is like FDA of Singapore. Yeah, so yeah, and in fact, we have been given Malaysia Book of Record because we are the first one that produced clinical recommendations by the regulatory body. So I'm very honored to have achieved it. So some of the hospitals right now in Malaysia is discussing with us to change from their current, you know, supplier to us because we do have the clinical recommendations So as of now, some of the genetic tests in Malaysia, many of them actually may be under the category of research use only. So like for me, because I'm generating it to be used by myself, my parents, we go extra mile to make sure that there is accreditations. Yeah.
Then, how would like is there any approach right now to the public to let them know that there is this precision medicine, there is this option of targeted treatment, and how this precision medicine, like as you said, can prevent our constipation? Because like before like I heard your talk in the forum previously, I didn't know about precision medicine. Like, oh, there's this method in going like treating this. So, is there any approach to the public that didn't know about this before?
So one of the reasons why I'm doing the podcast today is to hopefully bring more awareness to the patients to know that there are more options. But of course, the challenge is not all doctors are ready. So I'm actually very honored that the hospital that I work with, like Beacon Hospitals, they are open for precision medicine. In fact, our chairperson, Dato Ibrahim, is one of the main person to drive these precision medicines like more than 10 years ago. So in a way, I'm very blessed to be able to work with this team. And also podcast, education, and now, we are actually going to discuss about micro-credentials with IMU, suggested by Prof. Winnie. So I'm very honored to build this micro-credential with Prof. Winnie as well. So there can be like some programs, some courses like Mayo Clinic, that kind of program. So where we can even make it like two categories, the professionals and the public. Yeah, so these kind of courses or seminars or forum, as you say, yeah.
Okay, so just now you have talked about how like precision medicine work in like research and laboratory. But what happens in the hospital when it comes to precision medicine? Like, what do patients have to go through?
Okay, so of course, you need to get consent from them because there is privacy involved. So informed consent and shared decision making. So before initiating the treatment or intervention, the healthcare provider will discuss the proposed treatment plan with the patients. So, and then including the potential benefit, the risk, and the alternative. So then you informed consent is obtained from the patients, and then is encouraged to ensure that the patient preference, value, goal are considered in the treatment. So that's the first steps. So after the consent gotten, then some of the doctors or healthcare provider will start the initial assessment, consultations. So it will begin with initial assessment and consultation between the patient and healthcare provider. So during this consultation, the healthcare provider will gather information about the patient's like medical history, family history, symptom, and any relevant lifestyle. So it can also start with this, and then after that, they get the consent before they get the genetics. But if there's an answer to precision medicine where molecular data is needed, consent is always a must. So, and then they're sent to the testing, genetic profiling or molecular profiling. So, and then followed by the interpretations of the test. So sometimes, if it is health risk, they may even engage a genetic counselors. So, and then followed by the treatment plan, decision making, and then followed by monitoring and follow up. Yeah. So some hospital or some laboratory like us, we do have the electronic health records where they can get their information from app. So overall, patient undergoing precision medicines in the hospital can expect personalized and then some multidisciplinary approach, like might not be just the doctor. Sometimes the genetic counselor will come, and then the pharmacy will also be involved for dosing. So and then with the emphasis of leveraging genetic and molecular informations So to inform diagnosis, treatment, monitoring strategy tailored to the individual needs and characteristics. So like for my mom again, so they will like ask us whether do we want to advance further into the genetic test so that we can have more information instead of just the traditional way. So then we choose advancement. So then what's the next steps? Then we will have to actually give them the sample, of course, after the consent and etc. So. And then eventually when the result come, then there will be a treatment plan, follow up and strategies.
So all of this, do you see any common misconception of precision medicine in healthcare?
I think one of the common misconceptions of precision medicine is that they completely replace, the traditional medical approach, which is not the case lah. So actually, precision medicine is not about replacing the conventional medicine, but rather it is to complement it, with personalized and targeted informations based on the all the genetic, environment, biomarker, lifestyle that we have. So basically, it's an added value with extra information. Like for example, last time we do not know that, we can actually avoid the fatality from, the fluorouracil chemotherapy. But then now we know that, okay, at least I make sure my TBD, the donkey by the partisan, have activity, So, and how do you predict that? It is by knowing the genetic makeup. So whether you have a proper intact TPYD or not. So that's one of the way. And then they also thought that precision medicine is all about genetics. Not really. So while genetic play a significant role, so it's not the only factor considered. Precision medicine also take into account of various factors, such as genomic data, number one, and also the biomarkers, like even the blood test, and then protein test or tissue culture or clinical characteristic, environmental exposure, whether you suppose like certain drugs you cannot take grapefruits and then you go and challenge it with grapefruit. So lifestyle factors and so tailored to the healthcare decisions. So multidiscipline again. So another misconception is that precision medicine is expensive and inaccessible. Like I said, the pharmacogenomic that now we are selling is less than 2K. So for launching price, and then for people who are really in need, we will continue this price. So our retail price is 3,000 plus, but even so, a lot of healthcare providers told us this is very revolutionary. It's very cheap. So it's becoming more affordable now, but of course it requires a lot of negotiation skill and to ask for sponsorship and etc.
So now we've seen what precision medicine and molecular medicine is and how it can be applied. Let's look at what the future brings about with these two fields. So, Dr. Rebecca, how do you see the world of precision medicine changing in the upcoming years?
Personally, I believe that the world of precision medicine is poised to continue growth and innovation in the upcoming years with the exciting development and the breakthrough on the current horizon. So, and here are some of the trend and recent news in the field that demonstrate promising applications. I think AI is no longer, foreign to any one of us. So with artificial intelligence and machine learning, you will be able to remember the millions, if not thousands of information that we have. So with AI, we will be able to algorithm will help us to identify more trend and associate with clinical data and the patterns and predict the treatment response. So this AI-driven approach have the potential to accelerate drugs discovery as well, and then optimize treatment. They may know that, okay, with just a tilt of these differences, the clinical outcome have seems to be improved by all the information that is there. So therefore, improve clinical decisions in precision medicines, and also the advancement of the technology. Now we have all kind of technologies available that can do the whole genome study. The few things that is now common, like next generation sequencing, and then whole genome, and then like nanopore and single cell sequencing, like CRISPR, gene editing. So they enable more comprehensive and cost-effective analysis of genetic variant and molecular profile. So, and this technology can drive discovery of novel disease gene as well, and biomarker therapeutic target for personalized treatment. So, and then and all the multi-omics, all the omics things that is now available. For example, not just the genomics, also the transcriptomics and all the transcriptions are more on, right? And then proteomics, metabolomics. I think some of you may be involved in this research. And then the microbiomics, just to name a few. So it's providing more holistic understanding of disease mechanism. So this information was not available previously. So and then and you can actually associate them with the disease mechanism as well as the patient variability. So by analyzing the multiple layer of molecular informations, researcher can identify the complex disease signatures already. You can go more defined, more uh, more in depth for targeted treatments. So predictive biomarkers personalized. So for the and then also the immunotherapy or personalized treatment, like immunotherapy for cancer patients as well. And then as a checkpoint or inhibitor, CAR-T is also CAR-T cell therapy is quite common right now, quite famous right now. Revolutionize the cancer treatment by harnessing the body immune system, okay, to target and destroy cancer cell. So personalized cancer treatment based on the tumor molecular profile and immunogenomic, another make, okay. So analyze are showing promising results to improve patient outcome and overcoming the resistance of conventional therapy. Like unfortunately, like for my mom, she's not really the suitable candidates for immunotherapy. So thanks to the genetic profiling that informed us earlier, so I don't have to waste like tens of thousands for it. Yeah. So and then also liquid biopsy. Last time you have to cut the cancer cell to do a lot of analysis. So it have now evolved into more non-invasive diagnostic like liquid biopsy technique, which involve the circulating tumor DNA, okay, the ctDNA. So and then it also like enable early detections and real-time monitoring of the disease progressions. Like for example, a breast cancer patients, they already removed the breast and they do the gene test, but they want to know after a few months what happened. You can't cut again, right? So then you go for the liquid monitoring, lor. So yeah, so these are the examples, lah.
So I can see that precision medicine is going somewhere where delivery of medicine towards patient is getting more and more comfortable, less invasive, and much more accessible even.
Yeah.
So could you share any recent news or breakthroughs in the field that show promising applicability with further research? Is there anything new coming up, something that may shock the world even?
Depending how you also define shocking, lah. So for my mother case, I do not know you see it as shocking or not, but to me, I'm thankful that I can keep the loved one with me, lah. So yeah, so there are some initiative in precision medicine, for example, like study from the NIH National Institute of Health in US. So it's called the Precision Medicine Initiative, lah. So so this research aimed to gather the data from 1 million or more people living in United States. So to accelerate the research and improve health by enabling precision medicine. So the participants is to contribute their own health informations, including genetic data, lifestyle, and also environmental exposure to advance our understanding of health and disease. So, and in fact, NIH have actually even further launched the initiative of the Cancer Genome Atlas. So, and this Cancer Genome Atlas have mapped most of the genomic landscape of various cancer types. So, and then by analyzing the genomic and the clinical data from thousands of cancer patients, so this Cancer Genome Atlas has enabled the identifications of genetic alterations and then some biomarkers, as well as the therapeutic data target that are driven to cancer development and progressions. This is a nutshell, not all. Yeah.
So definitely a lot is going on with precision medicine. It's definitely going to change over the years, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what I believe, lah.
Thank you so much, Rich, for that. So I think it is time for us to wrap up our session for today. So, Doctor, are there any key takeaway points here that you hope our listeners have gained from today's discussion?
So I hope that the listener gain a clear understanding of what precision medicine is and that how it differs from a traditional approach how it empower even more. So there's a hope that it can be more personalized. So don't throw away your medication. So some people they don't take medication because they felt it is not so personalized. And studies show that with personalized or precision medicines, the compliance is higher. So then you can actually avoid more harm. And then also the importance of interdiscipline collaboration, again, is Avenger time versus a superhero time. And then the promise of personalized healthcare is available. So don't lose hope, keep fighting. And also to understand that there is still challenges, there is still considerations. So it is not easy, but it is doable. So, and also lastly, I hope that you can gain a deeper appreciation of the potential of the precision medicine to transform the whole healthcare delivery, and that there is a hope that your lifespan can be increased with quality, and also by embracing the principle of precision medicines and working together collaboratively, we hope we can create a future where healthcare is truly personalized, targeted, and effective for all individuals. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Yeah.
Rebecca. So we hope you've enjoyed our deep dive into this new and fascinating field of molecular and precision medicine.
Mm-hmm.
We're incredibly grateful and honored to have our guest here today, Dr. Rebecca Tay,
My honor
for
to-
sharing her experience and shedding light on her field of expertise by showing us the truth behind this field. If you have found today's episode informative and fun, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. And if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future episodes, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach us at our official Instagram page at ISBS_IMU. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Biomedcast Season 2. Bye.
Bye.